is Debbie Harper. I'm the Senior Curator of Education here at Winterthur Museum. We are standing in a room that we call the Blackwell Parlor. Magnificent room. We're going to get there in a little bit, but one of Mr. du Pont's later installations to the Winterthur house, when he lived here, this space served various functions. There was a large china storage room here where he kept all the dishes that he used on his dining table, many sets of antique dishes. He had a flower room in this space that was dedicated just for doing arrangements that would appear on the dining room table. And he also had a freezer in this area that was his ice cream freezer, a freezer dedicated just to ice cream. I could get into that. But he, when he was turning the place into a museum, removed those and installed this incredible architecture that we see in this room from a Philadelphia townhouse built down on Pine Street in the 1760s. Really incredible hand-carved wood. You can see a magnificent undermantel here, Aesop's fables, fabulistic carving elements, animals and figures, and a house. You could actually, it has depth to it. You could almost walk into these buildings. Richly carved flowers, deeply undercut, just magnificent, magnificent, rich carved embellishment. And it goes all the way to the top, to the overmantel, and right up into that cornice, just layer on layer. It's like frosting on a many-tiered cake that we are seeing up there. Fabulous architecture. And if we think in terms of all this, carved element in the architecture, it makes perfect sense that furniture made in Philadelphia in the 1760s would also feature a lot of carved decoration, because this was the fashion. And so we look at this chair sitting right here, this chair with a kind of curved saddle seat to it, very richly carved splat, carved styles, carved knees, and even ending at the bottom in what is called a hairy paw foot. That was unusual in American furniture. Americans preferred the simpler ball and claw foot, which we see on other forms in this room. But the hairy paw was just the height of fashion, very, very richly embellished. And really, some of the chairs in this room are so unusual for American furniture, they really more closely parallel European prototypes than the furniture that was being made in America at this time. So it's really considered top of the line. And then we have wonderful paintings in here. I'm sure many people recognize the name of John Singleton Copley, and we have a self-portrait by Copley over here on the left. He's depicted himself in his banyan or dressing gown, indicating that he is a man of leisured status, that he's sitting around in his robe. And over on the far side, a picture of his wife, Susanna. Interesting couple in that the Copleys, people in England claim that Copley was their best portraitist, and here in America we claim that he was our best portraitist prior to the Revolution. And the reason is because Copley and his wife were loyalists, and they went to England at the time of the American Revolution. And that is why both Americans and Brits can claim Copley as one of their premier artists.